There are different important ARP terms. There are certain terms connected with ARP. ARP is Address Resolution Protocol. The first thing goes is ARP request. So there is a proper format of ARP. Most of the things are there. So if I know the IP of my system and MAC address of my system, if I know the IP of another system, but MAC is not known because it is a physical address inside the NIC card, so I have to send an ARP request. So broadcasting a packet over the network to validate whether we came across the destination MAC address or not is the ARP request. It is broadcasted to everyone. But before sending the ARP, we need to check in our cache that whether we have already the mapping of this IP, that is we already have the MAC or not. Otherwise, why would we flood or congest the network? Once it is done, ARP response or reply is the MAC address response that the source received from the destination aids in further communication of the data. That is, the unicasting will be done from the destination to the source that this is what you wanted, my MAC address, take the MAC address. Then the ARP cache, after we resolve the MAC address, the ARP sends it to the cache stored in the table for future reference. The further or the subsequent communication can use the MAC address from the table already being created, and this is the cache. Finally, there are multiple dynamic messages here, and one time it will be too much, so they have to be deleted. How to delete this dynamic mapping or the cache content? It is the time for which the MAC address in the ARP cache can reside. After that, that dynamic will be released. It will be deleted. Static will remain there because static is actually inputted by the network administrator. Okay, for what time this content will remain here, the dynamic ones will be the ARP cache timeout. Let me tell you again, a machine have a IP address, have a MAC address. He or she wants to communicate with any other machine whose IP is known, the MAC address to be known, because this is a physical address that can only come through ARP. ARP is all about that only.